Hi, everybody, and welcome to SunBurst Tarot, where today I want to do a reading on Joe Alwyn, and I want to take a look at this rumor that's been going on. And did he ghostwrite Folklore, Evermore? We've been told that he was a ghostwriter on those albums, and so he did have some heavy hands in these Taylor Swift albums. But I want to take a look. Did he actually ghostwrite more than what was being said or not? Just due to a lot of people are wondering because of the most recent album and how it feels like people aren't sure if it's Taylor who's writing, like how Taylor's writing, what is Taylor's writing, and the differences that they've been spotting. So without further ado, let's get into it. But first things first, reminder, everything that I'm saying is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here, y'all, just my opinions, psychic downloads, and the such. So if you want to use what I'm saying to help form your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, please do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So let's take a look here. What's the general energy around Joe Alwyn and ghostwriting Folklore, Evermore? It was a collaborative effort. Ghostwriting. Oh, they weren't interesting. Okay, so interesting. So at the center of this, there's a couple. It's the Lover's card upright, correct? So seeing here, it was a collaborative effort. I would say, did Joe's influence pretty much Joe's influence is in the entire album. His influence is all over the album. Do I think he wrote everything? No, I don't believe he wrote everything, but his songwriting credits should be on every single song. Why is this? Because of the devil. Because like him and I don't know what was going on. I don't know if Taylor kind of like, let's make an album, let's make an album, let's make an album. I don't believe it was supposed to do well. I think this was promoted as like, this album isn't going to do well. It's going to be super different than what I've been doing. Because looking up here for material influences, like, it's judgment, which is people are seeing through. People really liked it. Unseen obstacle, though, or not unseen obstacle, hopes and fears. We get to have control. Like, I think he wanted to have it. I don't know if he beforehand wanted to ever do any work with Taylor on an album. I hear no. But Taylor's like, I want to do an album with you. I want to do an album. I want to do an album. Why don't you help? Why don't you help? Why don't you help? And so, like, he got to be like, if I'm going to help, I get to help with everything. Because if it's like, he's like, if this is going to be our album, then it's really our album. He didn't want the writing credits because I don't think, what I'm seeing is like Taylor like sitting down and she's writing out words, and then like Joe's in the background and she's like, hey, how does this sound? And he's like, change, what if it's did like, I don't know, instead of like, I don't know, butterflies in the sun, it's like on baited wings or on wings of glory shining off into the sunset or something like that. He made it more flowy. He made it better. I'm not good with words most days. So like that's what I'm feeling like. It was like his influence is all over this because he was involved with it, because Taylor involved him with it, because the unseen obstacles that this thing blew up, neither one were expecting this album to do well. It was going to be completely different from what Taylor had been done in the past, but it got big. It got a lot of notice. People loved it. And then because the negative influence here is the sun, happiness, joy, kids. exposure. Like this got a lot bigger, and people felt more in tune and just loved it more than what anybody thought it was going to. Because what's going for them is that we're never going to know the truth of how involved Joe was in the making of these two albums. Because here in the past, yeah, let's just try something, let's just do something, and then here in the future with the Hierophant reversed, yeah, we broke up, and now you know what? It's just easier for us to not be committed, not do this. We aren't together anymore. Yeah, like his influence is all over the album, because it truly is his and Taylor's album, where it feels like he had a part in every single song on the album, like on both albums, like that. Those were his. This was very much, it should have been called Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn, because he was involved so heavily with everything on there. I don't think he, yeah. So, what other information can we know about this? Is there Joe Alwyn and writing on ghostwriting Evermore and Folklore? Judgment. People are now looking at this. The world's going to know. There's more people going to know about things. Why? Because we aren't able to get away with it. It's from a material sense. Oh my gosh. What I'm getting is, at the time, he's like, yeah, no one's ever going to know. But he's like, now that after he broke up with Taylor, he's like, Taylor, it's coming for you, because you can't get away with it. Why? Because of material influence, passion, artistry. That was at the core of these albums. However, and now he's like, Taylor, you're telling on yourself. I hear it. It's like she's telling on herself. Because the hopes and fears, Six of Swords, the internet, they wanted to keep this away from the internet. She had people fooled for quite a while. Unseen obstacle, though. The King of Wands reversed. They can't say anything. They just can't say anything. Because the negative influence here, Knight of Cups reversed. So broken agreements, broken contracts is what's going for this situation. I don't know if there's an NDA that like ends after a certain amount of time. I hear yes, and after that, like we can really see, we can now talk about the development of these albums and like how much involvement Joe actually had. Again, do I think that he wrote all of them? No. Do I think he had influence on every single one though? Yes, and that is why it's so different than her other eras. Negative influence, though, the Knight of Cups. We've been gaslit. We've been told lies. Been told deceit, deception. Here in the past, yeah. Three of Wands. This was a group effort of doing things in the past. And here in the future, the Temperance. Unbalanced. Pouring so much emotion into something, but getting nothing out of it. It seems here it's like I know what's coming. Joe knows what's coming. It's pretty obvious. Also, there might be a broken agreement, broken contract here in the future. And this money, people are just catching on to this whole situation. I want to take a look at, how does Taylor feel? Does Taylor want to ever go back to the writing or the artistry that she had back in Folklore and Evermore? Does she ever, like, what's her feelings about that? Like, what's kind of going on with that? Is there any, like, would she ever want to go back to it? Yes. This is when she felt her most creative. She felt her most secure emotionally and spiritually and creatively. It also felt like it's the most fulfilling projects that she's ever done in her entire life. Because from material influence, it did well, but it also reflected well on things going on in her life, how she felt in just and all different things. However, her hopes and fears is the Seven of Wands. She wants to defend what she has now, it seems like. But the end, the unseen obstacles, the Two of Wands. It's like, how do I get back there? She doesn't know how to get back there because at that time, she was a different person. She was feeling very fulfilled, creative, things all going for her. Right now, though, she's like, I don't even know which way to go with my career, where I want to write, how I want to write. Because the negative influence, again, is the Knight King of Wands, which is Taylor. I think Taylor, at the end of the day, she's the one she's burnt out. She doesn't know how to get back to creativity or artistry. Once you get so big, it's not about creativity. It's not about artistry. It's not about putting yourself out there. Now it's about money and accolades. Because here, what's going for her, she's made a decision that she kind of regrets. It was a decision that she didn't want to make, but she had to. Here in the past, the Two of Pentacles, she dropped the ball, and then now you're in the future. She just can't get back. She's halted. She's stuck whatever niche she's kind of put herself in. It's like she can never go back. She can never get back to that place. So if people are ever looking at like Evermore or Folklore and wanting her to go back to that time frame, it just, even if she wanted to, which I think she would like to, she can't. Because one, situations, people, things changed around her. It was a product of her time. It was a product of things going on around her. And with the people surrounding her now and the burdens of which she's taken and the successes and the expectation of success built upon her back, artistry at the core of her isn't what drives or motivates the process now. It is now about numbers at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that that's a Taylor decision. I'm saying that is a byproduct of the people, situations, and expectations on her now, post Eras Tour. So that's what I'm kind of seeing here. I don't think we'll ever get back to it. Yeah, I'm not shocked to kind of see this. But again, so how does Joe feel about his time doing songwriting for the Evermore and Folklore albums? Like, how did he feel about it? Like, how does he feel about it? Like, kind of post clarity of everything. The Hermit, he's like, I just want to stay in my hole. I did what I did. He's really happy to do things from the shadows. He doesn't want people looking at him. He's like, I did what I did there. I did my reflection. I did my soul. Why is this? And it's like, I don't want accolades for this. I don't want people doing here, because from material influence, I dropped this burden. I dropped this off and I went towards my own happiness. I dropped and let go of things that did not serve me. Because the hopes and fears here is he's just like, I want to ride off into the sunset with everything. I think he was happy with what he produced and the quality of it, but he's like, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want to go back into that space. Because the unseen obstacle, though, is the King of Swords reversed, which is, who's going to tell? Someone wants to tell, or someone wants to. There's somebody here, I think, outside of him and Taylor, that wants to bring this up, really hit it home, of how much of Taylor's, what people would call her golden, like, creative age, was really Joe pushing behind the scenes. And he's like, I don't want that, because the negative influence here is the Queen of Wands. Like, just let her have her accolades. Just let Taylor have her accolades. Just let her sit on her throne. Let her be this creative genius. Let her get what she wants. Because for him, he's moved on from this. He's like, I've moved on. I don't want to do things anymore. I've let go of this heartbreak, and now I'm just ready to move on. Because here in the past, I had to move away, and I had to be serious about what were my contributions. And here in the future, I just want to go be happy and put my creative endeavors and my creative juices into other things. It's not that for him, he's like, I think he was happy with what he did, but he's like, I just let this go. I'm done. I'm over it. Just let it be. It was there. It was a thing. It was an era. It was a time of my life. It's here at the bottom of the deck. He has multiple things that he can do now. He has multiple ways of expressing himself. And this was a way of expressing him at the end of the day with him and Taylor. So That's what I'm kind of seeing here with Joe and Taylor. And how involved was Joe in the writing process of Evermore and Folklore? So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. If y'all enjoyed, feel free, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions down below. Otherwise, I really just want to say a great big thank you for everyone who's been watching. If you want to hype up this video, or just engage with your favorite emoji, I would really appreciate it, as any and all engagement really helps with the algorithm. Otherwise, if you want to book a personal reading or join YouTube members, you can do so using the website links down below. Otherwise, I really just want to say a great big thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in more videos in the future. So thank you, and bye.